everybody, this is Emily from Of Pages and Ink, and today I will be talking about one of my most favorite things in the whole world, and that is the Hunger Games. Today is Wednesday, you know what that means, it's Top 5 Wednesday, where I will be going over my top 5 favorite scenes from either the books, the movie, or both the books and the movie of the Hunger Games series, so Hunger Games Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1, Mockingjay Part 2, which I haven't seen because it comes out in 2 days, and I am so excited. So excited. I even made 2 shirts, and I'm working on a bow. This is one of my shirts. On the back it says District 13. I got a magazine, and I got Katniss Funko, and I've had that pin and all my books, and yeah, so I am ready. I am so ready. And I'm so not ready. And if you've read the books, you know why. Anyway, so, just a pre-note, or a note, or however you want to make a note of it. This video will contain spoilers, possibly, depending on what you consider a spoiler. So just be either aware or you may not want to watch, because if you're just watching the movies, it's gonna ruin part 2, maybe. I actually don't think I have anything. Well, yeah, hold on. Let's just get to it and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I actually technically have 6, but one of them I'm going to make like an honorable mention kind of thing, because it's a really important scene, and I'll tell you why in a second. It wasn't one of my favorite moments, but it's definitely a really important one, and without this scene we wouldn't really have a story, so just to be aware of that one. And then I will have top 5 moments. So the honorable mention is volunteering for Prim, which is Katniss volunteering for Prim, at the Reaping. And like I said, it's a really important scene. It's not really one of my favorite scenes because Katniss is basically volunteering to go and die, which is not good. But it's the scene that gets the movie going, or the book, the story going, because without that scene we would either have a really short story, because let's face it, Prim is not a fighter, or no story at all, because there wouldn't really be anything to write about. So it's an important scene. It's not necessarily one of my favorites, but I did want to make a mention of it in my video. My 5th favorite scene happens in Catching Fire, and mostly in the movie, if I remember correctly, because I haven't read this since the books since Mockingjay Part 1 came out, so it's been quite some time. But I believe in the book you don't really get to see what happens, but you get to see what happens later, I guess. But in the movie, if you've seen Catching Fire, my 5th favorite scene is the scene where Peeta's walking out and Katniss is walking in, and Katniss sees that Peeta had chosen, I think it was supposed to be the camouflage skill, but instead of camouflaging, he paints Rue on the floor of the training center. And in the book, I think it's just like this wet splotch, because they were trying to clean it up knowing it would affect Katniss. So I don't think she gets to see it. I don't remember. She might, but in the movie she definitely gets to see it, which leads to her hanging a dummy that says Seneca Crane on it. And it's like a really big F you to the Capitol, like, you can't control me, I won't let you. And it's really important, and it's one of my favorites because it's really emotional and it's really powerful, and it shows that Katniss isn't just doing things for herself, she's also doing it for her friends and family, the people she loves. Coming in at number 4, my 4th favorite scene is in Catching Fire, where Katniss kind of starts to realize that she cares for Peeta beyond just not wanting to be a killer, if that makes any sense. Like, she didn't want to go home, like, at the end of the Hunger Games, she creates that thing with the berries where they're gonna kill themselves with the berries because she doesn't want to go home without him, not because she doesn't love him, but because, you know, she doesn't want to go home and face his family because she killed their son. She could have just not done it. Because in the books, if I remember correctly, she actually raises her bow to kill him, and he says, go ahead, and she's like, okay, that's not right. If he's not going to put up a fight, I'm not going to do anything about it, if I remember correctly. So in Catching Fire, there's a scene after they hear Beetie's plan, and Peeta's trying to talk Katniss into surviving, into not worrying about protecting him, but protecting herself. And he's telling her how she has a family that she needs to protect, and how nobody really cares about him, and she realizes that she doesn't want to live in a world without Peeta, and it may not necessarily be that she realizes she loves Peeta, but she realizes that she cares about him and has found a friend, a companion, someone she can rely on, and someone who doesn't make her feel so alone, which I think is pretty powerful, because a lot of the time she feels alone and lost, and other than when she's with Gale, but that leads into a love triangle thing, and I'm not going to get on that. My third favorite scene from the Hunger Games is the scene where it's in Mockingjay Part 1, the movie and the book. Because Mockingjay, believe it or not, is actually broken into 2 parts, so, but anyway. It's the part where she sings The Hanging Tree. I could never get a tune in my head when I was reading that part of the book. I think I kept trying to put the tune to it, like, in the meadow, but of course that doesn't work because it's not the same song. But when they came out with the movie and there's actually like music to the lyrics, I was worried that they weren't going to put it in there, but they did, and I was just so happy because that was one of my favorite scenes in the book, and then it was beautiful in the movie, and I really want to give kudos to Jennifer Lawrence, because she hates to hear herself, she hates singing in public, she hates it, and I think it's really brave of her to go ahead and do it. I don't know if they had threatened, but I think it was really brave of her to go through and do it, and hopefully she has a better time facing herself singing. She has a great voice. She is not an awful singer. She's really good. I mean, she's no pop star, but, you know, she's a good singer. Jen, don't beat yourself up so much. So actually, one more thing I want to say about Hanging Tree, is in the movie with the dam part where it explodes, and before that they're singing the song, and it kind of creates like a powerful, not like a chant, but I guess like an anthem. It becomes like the Revolution's anthem in the movie. I don't think it does in the book, but I'm not sure about that. So not only is it Katniss kind of having this kind of moment of peace, a moment where she can remember her father, a moment where she can sit down and sing like she used to when she was little, and it kind of grows into the anthem of the Revolution. So I just always thought that was really nice. My second favorite scene from the Hunger Games is actually the one in District 8. It's not a very happy scene, but it's a very tense, emotional, and powerful scene, especially when Katniss first walks into the hospital and sees all the wounded and dying people, and they ask her if she's going to join them and if she's going to be their Mockingjay. And I think that's when she really decides that, yes, I'm going to be the Mockingjay. I am going to fight with you because this isn't right. You're my brothers and sisters in Panem, and this shouldn't be happening. The Capitol shouldn't be doing this to us. And which of course leads to the famous quote, if we burn, you burn with us, which is one of my favorite and most powerful quotes of the Hunger Games. One of my other favorite quotes is said by Finnick, which I don't remember off the top of my head exactly word for word, but it's something like, don't build it up because it takes longer to build it up and 10 times faster to tear it down, or something similar to that, but that's one of my favorite quotes too. And then my favorite scene of the whole movie is the whole book series thing is because I shipped them so hard, and I've seen that they're going to put this in Mockingjay Part 2, and I am ecstatic. I really want to see it. I've heard that Genlaw's nephews play the parts, but this is a major spoiler if you've never read the books, because up to this point I've talked about things that have been in the movies so far. This one is the part where at the very end Katniss and Peeta are grown up and they have kids, which Katniss said she would never have kids, but now that things in Panem are different, she is able to have kids. And Peeta looks over at her and he says, "You love me real or not real?" And she says, "Real." And that's like one of my most favorite scenes, because for a long time these two were struggling to find themselves in all of the Hunger Games and the Capitol and the rebellion, all the madness. And Katniss said she never wanted to have kids. Peeta had been hijacked and was like not even Peeta anymore. And so it was just like a very happy, maybe even not really all that happy, but like a good ending for such a dark and awful, not awful, like the things that happen are awful, but the story is really good. So awful in the events, it's a good ending, and it's probably one of my favorite endings, and I'm so looking forward to seeing it in the movie. And that's all I got for you guys. I meant to do a book talk on the last book I read, which is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, but I don't know if I'm going to get around to it. Maybe I'll record it right after this and just wear my Mockingjay shirt, because, I mean, they're both birds, like crows and mockingjays. Yeah. And I'm currently reading Cinder, in case anybody cares. That's all I got. So I will bid you all goodbye, and I will see you next time.